Well, all right. All right, all right. Hey, everybody. Look at there. I'm in the chair. What do you think of that, Lloyd? uh, Thumbs up, huh? Yeah, I'm in the chair on time. Boy, we got a lot of people in the stream already. Just getting started. We already got 10 people in here. That's pretty good. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. Got a lot I'm going to go over tonight. A lot of stuff I want to talk about and run my mouth and all that. And so, you know, got to have that Scruffy. You know, I think he's trying to compete with me for the Scruffy Award. What do you think, Lloyd? Are you trying to compete with me for the Scruffy Award?
Just lazy.
Just lazy?
Just lazy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's all right, too. You're allowed to be a little lazy.
I got that one off. Okay.
What you been up to?
Not much. Just trying to stay on top of things, really.
Yeah?
Housework, doing stuff like that.
Right.
Not much of anything, to be honest with you. Just lazy this week. So,
Just lazy, huh?
that's it, man. I fell asleep after I talked with you earlier, and took about an hour nap.
Wow, I was going to say that was only about an hour ago.
Yeah.
But
It was about an hour nap. Yeah.
wow.
Like,
Okay.
And I forgot to set the alarm. Crap, I need to get in there. So, yeah. But
All right. Well,
anyways, just doing that.
Cool. Well, I've been going absolutely crazy since I talked to you on the phone, just trying to get everything done and ready.
Get everything set up.
Get everything set up and plugged in and dialed in and tuned on and tuned in and all that good stuff.
Right.
We're going to talk a little bit tonight about 3D printing. What do you think?
That sounds good. I saw your first video that you put out this week about that.
3D printing and
Piece that you-
CAD design and all that kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
So before we get too carried away, I want to say hello to everybody. Try and get everybody a shout out. Art, he was the first one here tonight. Jody was second. Jackson RC Aviation, greetings. Welcome to the channel. Jody, I already said his name. He don't count no more. The grumpy blogger, Chris Hope. Wow, looks like Jackson RC Aviation knows everybody. Looks like that's somebody I should know. Is that somebody I know?
Yeah.
Do
I'm thinking.
I know who that is? I'm having
Oh, you
trouble
should.
remembering. You know, there's so many that you try to
I'm
keep
having-
track of and remember who they are.
Right.
You know what
and
I mean?
I'm having trouble remembering what I did 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. I get you. I'm with you on that. Joe Blaylock, welcome, sir. Mr. Possum is here. Kai, Lone Star, welcome. Who else we got? That looks about like it. Chris Jackson, good man.
Chris Jackson. Yeah.
That's Chris Jackson. That's.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of a different Chris. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I don't know
I
him.
mean, we only know, what, 3 or 4 or 5?
Yeah, something like that.
Chris Hope. There's Chris Haley. There's Chris Sunrise
Doc
Water
Murdoch.
Media. Yeah, this Chris Haley. Yeah. So, Chris Jackson. There's
Well,
at least two more I
if
can think of.
if his first name is Chris and his last name's Jackson, I don't care about the last name, but if his first name's Chris, he's got to be all right if he's along with all them other Chris's. Yeah. Fixed wing flyer and good at it. Well, I like to do that too. I got 5 airplanes. Anyway, yeah, Chris with Sunrise Water Media. He's another one, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of all them guys and Joe Blaylock in particular, I took last week off, I believe it was, if I remember right. Had a lot of stuff going on and Labor Day weekend and stuff, and I had a full plate, so I decided to just take the weekend off live streaming
Yeah, I
and
did too.
doing all that stuff. But I got an email from Joe Blaylock with a video that he wanted to share. So I'm going to jump right into that. What do you think?
Let's see it.
Let's do it. I'm going to back the audio down just a little bit so we can talk about it.
Right.
Look at that sunset.
Yeah, this is gorgeous country to live in.
This is with the Mini 2.
With the Mini 2, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, he lives over in Oregon.
Yeah, well, is it Oregon or Washington?
It might be Washington.
Yeah.
One of them.
Wiedemann, hello.
One of them two. I can never keep them apart.
You know, if it's not too windy, the Mini 2 really is a good drone.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
Mini 1 is a
Yeah.
good drone. And now they got the Mini Special Edition, the SE,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's probably going to be a $300 drone or $350 at the most, I'm going to guess, because they want to compete with the toy drones out there. I think that's a market they ought to leave alone. But
Yeah, I'm wondering why they decided they had to go with a Mini 2 SE.
yeah, another Mini
I mean-
from DJI. I mean, we need that
Well,
like we need a hole in the
another-
head.
Mini 2 with India 16 filter, Washington State, on the border with Oregon. See?
Yeah. So that's right along the
Oh,
Columbia
yeah.
River,
Yeah.
unless he's inland
Right.
a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where he's at.
Yeah, I know the Columbia River separates Oregon and Washington for several miles.
Yeah. I had two cousins, they were sisters. One lived in Washington, the other one lived in Oregon, and they were just a bridge separating them. And one on one side of the Columbia, one on the other side.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that
Of
Mini
course,
2 does a nice job.
Yeah, it does. Does anybody know? Cleveland is asking, anybody know what's special with that drone, the SE?
Yeah, it's only got a
Right.
1 over 2/3 sensor, and it's still under 250 grams. It's 249 or less if you don't
Yeah.
put the prop guards on it.
Joe says from the Columbia, 5 miles from the Columbia.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's some gorgeous footage.
You got your phone with you, right?
Huh?
You got
Yeah.
your phone with you, right?
Yeah. Right.
Hello, Angela. You're getting ready to go to work, I'll bet.
Yeah. Yeah, this is some Mini SE is a grand idea. Finally, some quality in the under $300 market. Okay. Excellent. That's from Kai. You wrote that up there. And yeah, so we're glad you came in. Angela, glad you could stop by. Joe, this is just well, first off, you're like Ron Lockwood. You've got some beautiful country video. So that's the one advantage is you got. Let's see, made only for the USA. Yes, market range of 2.5 miles in the Mini SE. Okay.
2.5 miles for a drone you can't see 300 feet away.
You know. What's the distance on an FPV drone?
Not very
Say
far.
a 5-inch.
depending on, like the one I have with the analog video and stuff. Not super duper camera, none of that kind of stuff. Just average run-of-the-mill crap. If I get more than 1,000 feet away, I start getting video breakup.
Okay. All right. Well, let's say you put the digital system in it, so you're talking quite a bit further.
Well, yeah, like the DJI digital system. Yeah.
Yeah. Or whatever it is now. So.
Yeah, you would be able to get quite a bit further.
And those are
hello, Tammy.
Pretty hard to see.
What the
very
hell?
Far away. What?
Oh, I'm hearing a boombox in the trunk of a car going by or something outside.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was a very nice video there, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us. That was really cool. That was really cool. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So, Lloyd, have you had time to do anything with your 3D printer lately? Tonight's topic, by the way, everybody, is 3D printing and
3D printing,
CAD design and all that kind of stuff.
I've been looking at a couple of things. I'm thinking about firing it up here over the next couple of weeks, but I got too many irons in the fire right now, and that's the problem.
You know, that's me with my projects. I got so many of them going, it's hard to decide which one I want to work on. But I'm working hard on this, what did I call it, a Viewatron 5000? I think a Viewatron 5000 is what I called it, kind of jokingly.
Yeah, Viewatron 5000.
I might even actually name it that, you know.
Why not?
Sure, exactly. So, what I'm going to do is, where's that for, Chris? Is that, I don't know. Don't matter. I hope it's good. Thank you for posting it, whatever it is.
That's the, I think it's the one that you set up for.
Is that the one for Tammy?
I think so, yeah.
Well, that'd be awesome. Thank you, Chris, for posting that. So, I want to talk about the field monitor a little bit.
Mel just didn't even notice.
What did I miss? Thanks for watching. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, Lloyd. What didn't I notice? I'm not sure what's going on. I can't hear anything.
You didn't see that, did you? Or hear it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. Add a little extra, little something extra.
Yeah. Anyway, that's funny. Yeah, Chris. In fact, today Sean Oz tweeted out a tweet that I'm going to come over to your house and cut your damn wires.
Oh. I saved special ones for this show.
Yeah,
actually,
I can tell.
This one was actually for Greg's show. You know, when John gets to waxing poetic about Casa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hello, Dustin.
Add some
and there was
to stuff now,
someone else that came in, too. I wanted to say hey, but I missed it now already. Oh, well, I'll catch up to it in a little bit, I guess. So I want to talk about the case. Yeah, I said hey to Tammy, I think. Hell, I don't know. I got so many things going through my brain right now. It's crazy. Almost halfway through the show, and I ain't got nothing done.
Well,
let's get after it.
See what you're working on.
I want to talk about the case, and let's check your audio, Lloyd. Is it working?
Test 1, 2.
Yep, it's working.
Test.
Okay,
yep.
Good deal. Okay, so this is the HDMI cable that I bought for the case because it needs to be able to plug in and mount in the case. So I had to have a mount for it, and I didn't want to try to 3D print one and have it be loose and be a pain in the butt, so I decided to just buy it, and it was all of $5.50.
Yeah.
Gotta love Prime with their free shipping. And then the monitor that I'm using, I'm repurposing it out of a Dell laptop.
Right.
But it's got a 30-pin connector on it, and it's a standard. It's an LG Philips monitor. Probably because of its age, I'm going to guess 1080 resolution. I don't think it's
right.
2K or anything, but
Yeah.
it might be able to handle it. I'm just not sure. But if you were to buy this same monitor on Amazon, it's $67. So it's very inexpensive. And then let's see, what else did I get? Oh yeah, the video controller card. No matter what kind of monitor you got, you still need a video card for it, right?
That's what I was going to ask about. Yeah, that was my next question.
So, yeah, the video card was a whole $29, and it takes the VGA and the Ben. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. I don't know if my thing will work. I got to click back over here and click that and do that, and that makes it work. But it'll take the VGA, 11 pin or whatever, and the HDMI input. And it's got the output for the power for the backlight on the monitor. And it's got the 32 pin connector for the monitor itself. And then it's got a power switch that lets you turn it on and off and adjust the settings and stuff, brightness and so forth. So, and it comes with a remote control, believe it or not, for $30.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I had one other thing there, and I've missed it now because I don't know what happened to it. Let's see if I just go here and do this, and then search. Whoops. I need to go there and then search Apache. There it is right there, the 3800.
Yeah.
So that's the case that I'm doing all this in. And I don't think I paid $42 for it when I bought it. I think it was like $36 or $32 or something.
Right.
So they may have gone up since then, but that appears to be the current price, about $43. But when you're building stuff, one of the things that you need to have is the dimensions to build it on. You got to know what size everything is. So I've got a slide here that I'm going to put up that shows the inside dimensions on this case. 378 millimeters long, they're calling it, and the width they're calling 270. Well, to me, that's opposite, because it's the wide part. When you open the case and it's facing you, the wide part is the 378, and the front to back from the handle to the hinge where the lid opens is the 270. But the part that I really needed to know was this number right here, the corner radius, the 16 millimeters. That was that was extremely important, and I needed to know that. Because in order to create this thing, now I did do a beta. Let me go to my background clips and pull this camera up. I did do a beta with just one that I printed really quickly to fit around the monitor, because I wanted to be able to see how I was going to be able to get everything mounted and so forth. And that actually, I didn't permanently attach this one. I just hot glued everything. So that shows the that shows the board and the connections and everything that has to be connected to make this thing work. And then you input your HDMI signal right here, and
Right.
you're good to go. It puts out on the screen whatever information you're feeding it. So with that temporary...
Now, what do you use for a power source?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. That board...
Okay, that was, yeah.
That board requires 12 volts. So I got a 12 volt connector that,
Okay.
if I can get it under the camera, just the regular 5.5 millimeter 12 volt plug, standard 12 volt plug.
Right.
I got a pack of them, the male and female end, like $4.50 or something on Amazon, whatever it was, a pack of 6 or 10 or something. This is that HDMI cable.
Lon's got a good question, but I think it's called repurposing. You know, he's repurposing an old laptop that
Yeah,
why not use an HDMI dongle? Yeah.
Well, with a tablet, you still got to be able to power it, and then it just makes it a little more complicated to me, because with an HDMI dongle, you're not going to get power to feed it, and then if you want it to have all the screen information, then you got to worry about trying to see if it's going to run the Go 4, because you could do it that way too without the dongle. Just connect it direct to the controller with an HDMI dongle, and but anyway, so that's just it's just an old laptop that I got my hands on and was able to.
And you're making a tough book, just like Joe says.
Yeah. Well, this thing's going to be tough, all right. So
yeah.
Here's the other part. I just pulled off the printer, the new bezel, and I put a positive and negative tab on it, so you get a tab A to a slot B, or tab B to slot A, or something like that.
Yeah.
So that'll go together like that and make it nearly a seamless connection. And I just pulled this off the printer right before the show. But my question was, how well did my 16 millimeter radius come out for the corners and the
Have you
length?
switched cameras yet, or are you still on your main camera?
Oh, I got it up here in the preview window, and I'm not even showing it, am I?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, there you see the HDMI cable and the 5.5 millimeter power plug. All right.
Right.
So then this turned out to be just a shade long, and I was afraid it might be just a shade long, but I can trim a little off the center and make it fit. But my 16 millimeter radius for the corners turned out amazing. I'm extremely happy with how that fits in there. So, with that all being said, what I thought I would do is, right after the cheap plugs, I will show what it took to make those radiuses and corners. And you see, because it's got a nice radius on the inside corner as well as the outside corner, and the tab A and the slot B and all that stuff. So I kind of prefer to use Tinkercad, so that's what I use a lot of. And I do have Fusion 360, but I learned on Tinkercad, and then one day I decided, a couple, 3 years ago, to buy Fusion 360, so I did. And it looked like Greek and French mixed together to me, so I just keep using Tinkercad. I haven't even tried to learn Fusion 360. But
yeah, go with what you're used to.
Yeah,
it's
it might take me a little longer, but I still get it all. I still get what I want.
It's like me using vMix. I'm so used to using it that I can just about manipulate anything I need to. Like I put that little cloud thing behind me, and all
Yep.
of that.
Yep.
It just takes me a minute to be able to throw that together. To do something like that on OBS, and I won't even talk about Wirecast, but on OBS, it's just vMix is just easier for me to use. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I think vMix, out of everything that we tested when we were just starting live streaming,
Right.
I mean,
Now OBS has come a long way.
it has, but still, I still
And
think
they
vMix
just came out
beats
with
it.
yeah, there's some things that I could probably do in OBS easier than I can on vMix, but for my setup, the way I've got everything right now, you know, I was using an iPad for a sound effects button. Well, I've got this Stream Deck, and I can put page after page after page of sound effects on it, and that way people don't know that, you know, I'm going to hit a button,
Right.
you know, because I'm not looking down here looking for that, you know. Now I can do it with, you know, not anybody paying attention.
Right.
And but those are things, and so working with the program you're using, you're used to doing it. You've found the shortcuts, and
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
you've developed your own shortcuts or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
So, anyway, a little bit of shameless plug stuff going on here right now. If you think you need to send something to me, or to Lloyd, actually, you can send it here as well. You send anything to the channel you want. We take all donations. The green folding kind are the best. 400 AGL PO Box 12, Holiday, Tennessee 38341. Email for the channel is 400agluploads@gmail.com. And one more little shameless plug for Jason Chappert. Remote Pilot 101 is the place to study for your 107 first time round or your recurrent test. And once you pay for it, with the discount from the link on my website at 400agl.net, you're a lifetime member. You got it forever. Never to have to pay again. Ever. As long as you live.
Excellent.
That's why they call it lifetime membership. So, anyway, all of that stuff's out of the way. So, so you want to see how I made the bezel, Lloyd?
Yeah, let's see how you did that.
All right, let's take a look at that. I'll make sure I got to hit the right thing and bring in your camera and mine. There we go. So here's Tinkercad. And for those of you that don't know anything about CAD, computer-aided drawing or computer-aided drafting, Tinkercad is a free CAD program in Microsoft Chrome. So all you have to do is type in Tinkercad and it'll take you to it. Make a sign in and you can use it for absolutely free, and you can store all the stuff that you make on Tinkercad. And I've got pages and pages of things that I've made, things that I've designed. Every one of these is something that I've either designed or modified someone else's design that I got off of Thingiverse. So that just gives you an idea. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, what is this? I think this is the copy. I'm going to start with this one. And yeah, this is the copy. And for right now, I've got everything set as transparent so that it's visible real easy. And you can see that I've got most of this thing made. And here's, if I zoom in on it, you can see the slot that the tab goes into that makes it fit. Now, this thing is 189 millimeters across, and that's half of 378 or whatever it was, the dimension for the inside of the case. So when I set this, and I've got this set to minus 100 from my 0 point. I've got a ruler down here that I can set things to. It's set to 0. on that axis and it's minus 100 on this axis, that means this end is 89 millimeters from zero. So if I take this one that is now 103 from zero and change that to 89 minus the 3 millimeter tab that I've got built into it already, so I'll make that 86 because my tab overlaps and inserts by 3 millimeters, and that's the surface that I'm going to use to glue it together. Let me make one of those transparent again so that we can see it.
Yeah.
And so that'll become the glue surface that helps hold it together at the very center.
Right.
And so anyway, right now what I'm going to do is show you how I made that. So I know my radius was 16 millimeters. So I'm going to get me a round thing over here, and this thing is default at 20 millimeters. Zoom in on it a little bit. I don't want those bumpy edges around the thing, so I'm going to give it 64 sides to make it more symmetrically round. Right. Then I'm going to set this dimension to 16 millimeters. I'm going to set this dimension to 16 millimeters. And I'm going to set the height dimension to 5 millimeters because that's how thick I want the overall finished product to be.
Right.
Then I'm going to put it in the corner. To put it in the corner, all I got to do is zero out my 2 corner measurement numbers. Now it's perfectly edge to edge on the corner of the ruler on the work plane. I know this thing has to be 189 millimeters long overall.
Right.
Each half, right? So I'm going to take a thing like this, and I want the frame. First thing I need to do, I messed up. I need to set this to 32 millimeters because 16 is the radius. That means the diameter is 32. So in order for me to have a 16 millimeter radius, I got to use a 32 diameter 32 millimeter diameter. So I'm going to take my block and I'm going to set it to 0 on the ruler. I'm going to set it to 5 millimeters thick, and I'm going to set it to 16 millimeters wide. And there's a reason I chose 16. That's what the radius of the circumference is, right? So knowing that, then all I have to do is move this thing down this way to 16 millimeters, and it will be exactly dead center on my circle. So that when I extend this out, 189 minus 16, 176. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
I'll set the overall length at 176.
189 minus 16, 173.
Okay, yep. It's too long by 3 millimeters. So yeah, 173.
Yeah.
So we'll set that to 173. I'll encompass both of them and check the length. The length is 189, which is exactly what I need it to be. So now we got this weird part in here in the middle. We're not going to worry about that just yet. But what I am going to do is I'm going to group these two items together so that they become one. And I'm going to click the group button up there. Now it's one piece. So here's the easy thing. We're going to hit Control D shortcut to duplicate it, and then we're going to rotate it 180 degrees on that axis, and then we're going to move it to 210 just for now, just to get it out of the way. The overall width, 236, right? So this overall width, let's move it down here to 150, is 32. And we need it to be 236 to the outer edge. So 204. Does that give us 236? If we set it 204 from the bottom, something like that. Let's hit that one and select that one. And look at there, we get 236. So that gives us a perfect width. Okay. Now, I got to move these two things a little bit further out of the way because they're too close. Now what I need is a bar 16 millimeters wide. We're going to put it to, get around here where I can see it. We're going to put it to 0 so it's on the line. We're going to make it 5 millimeters tall. We're going to bring it down to the 16 millimeter mark, right? And we got 236 minus 16 is 220. Does that sound right? 220 and boom. Nope, that's wrong. 220 minus 16. 204. There. Now it's also hitting the center of both of our round circles. So now we can group all three of these things together and we have the beginning of the template, the bezel.
Right.
We have a half. We have absolutely one half. I'm going to move this down a little bit so we can see it a little better. So what we need to do now is create an inside radius on our 16 millimeter mark. So we're going to take another round peg of sorts and we're just going to cut that radius in, we're just going to cut that radius in half and make it 8 millimeters. Okay, and now let me put this back to 0 because just to make it easier to measure things. 0, 0. So 16 minus 8 is what,
8.
Lloyd?
16 minus 8?
Well,
minus 8.
Half of 8, which is 4, so it's going to be
4, okay.
12.
All right.
No, that ain't right either.
Numbers. No?
No, because that doesn't put this thing at the center. I'm sorry. No, I didn't want a minus. I wanted to do 16 plus 4, which would actually be 20.
Right.
And that should put us right on the edge of our, which is what it does. So we're at 20 in that direction. We're at 24 in this direction, so we need to make it 20 in this direction. Ah, man, you know what I didn't do? Now I see why it looks so funny. Well, I didn't make this bar right here 16 millimeters wide. So I got to ungroup all that stuff, and I got to take this bar and see it's still 20 millimeters wide, so I got to bring it down to 16. That's why everything looked so funny. Okay. I thought, this doesn't look right. Why does it not look right?
Yeah, well, I didn't even notice the difference because
I did. I could see it didn't look right, but I didn't understand why. So we got 16 and 8, but we want it to be inset by 4, so it has to be at 12. See, I was right the first time. I knew that. And we're going to do this at 12. Now it's in the right spot. It's going to give us a 16 millimeter wide curve.
Okay.
But actually, to get 16, that needs to be 16, and this needs to be 16. Oh my goodness. Now we need
You forgot how you did it.
Yeah, we need to duplicate the rest of this. So I'm going to make this thing extra long because this is actually going to turn into waste. And I'm not even looking at chat. Hello, Greg. I see Greg
Right.
Oz by Drone in there talking.
Oh, I didn't even see him.
So I'm going to bring it down to 16 millimeters so that it's the perfect
He
right along the
says
edge.
that it doesn't look right to you because your brain is still trying to think in imperial.
Oh, yeah.
Inches.
Okay, Greg.
Yeah.
Pound sand. Anyway. Oh, my goodness. Now, we got 16 there and 4 there to be in the center, so we want this to be at 20 millimeters, and that ought to cut that right in half, just like that. So then we make another one, and we're going to stretch it out a ways. Let me get centered on it so we can see it a little better. And we're going to bring this to 16 on this side.
Justin says measure it in double cheeseburgers.
Going to bring it, yeah, careful now. Bring it to 12 on this side. Did I do that right? Yep. See there? Okay. Now, this is where it gets really super easy, because now we have those 3 parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group just those 3 parts, right? Now I'm going to duplicate it, Control D, and I'm going to rotate it 180 on that axis, and I'm going to move it out here to where, whoops, change this to 0.1 millimeter so it don't move so fast. And I'm going to move this out here to the edge of that one, and I could do the math if I wanted to really make it work out right, but this is just for demonstration. So now I've got those 2 that are now apart, so I'm going to group that and make it solid. And it's sitting on the plane, so I know that it's going to cut all the way through my other part, but I always like to drop it below the plane just a little bit. That way I know that it's all the way through the other part and it's overlapping the ends. And now I'm going to make that piece a void, make it a hole, and I'm going to group it with my other part, and it will cut it out. And let me put a block in here to zoom in on. F. Now we have a perfect 16 millimeter radius on this corner and a perfect 8 millimeter radius on that corner, and we have an overall length of 189 and an overall width of 236, which is exactly what it needs to fit, so that it covers about 5 millimeters or 4 millimeters of the edge of the monitor all the way around. And yet when you double it up, you end up with the completed, whoops, come on now, Control Z, move this over here, move this over here, grab those 2 things and drag them down here.
Right.
So when you double it up and put your tabs in for your glue joints, you end up with a perfectly symmetrical bezel that will go around your monitor.
Excellent.
So that's what I do. That's how I use Tinkercad. And I know there's a lot of other different ways and different things, but this is what I use, and this is what I've grown accustomed to, and that's what I use to make stuff with. And that's how I do it.
Joe Blaylock says, haven't done CAD since college. We had nothing like this. We used ladder rail program to control the CNC machine.
Oh, yeah.
I did the whole alphabet in a block of wood. Took
Oh,
hours.
my God. Well, once you get done with this, you know, you get your design that you want to make, and you get your thought in your head. Some people draw it out on paper. I just bring it out of my head onto the computer. But it's kind of cool that once you get the two pieces off the printer. Now, see, I just made that, and we sent it to the printer, and I got it already. I had to print each half one at a time because
right.
this isn't my Anet printer. This is my GeeTech printer. My Anet printer has a 400 build volume, 400 by 400.
Right. Yeah.
I could have printed it like this and done it all at once, right?
Right.
But the GeeTech, this stuff, I mean, I could put them really, really close together and it would probably fit, but it would be really, really close.
Right.
So I print one at a time on high quality with a .01 layer height and 200 degrees on the PLA on the hot end, and you can see I get a really nice finish. That's so smooth it almost looks injection molded. And 8 hours for each piece.
Dustin said, okay, so once you do one side in the editor, you can copy that and reverse it and make it a whole thing.
That's exactly
graphic design,
right.
But they never mess with AutoCAD. Yeah.
So if I bring that back over here for just a second, which I can do that because I'm right here. So I'm going to set this one, like I said, it's 189 wide, so I'm going to set this to, I'm going to set it to -100 so that it'll go over there. Then I'm going to duplicate it, Control D. I'm going to rotate it on this axis 180 degrees. There's the other one, and I'm going to set it to 89 because that's the remainder of my balance. And when I hit the enter key, or just before, it will come to perfect rest, right where it belongs. And then you can take your little blocks like this and make them really small and make them fit in there, and and let's zoom in on it just so we can see it. Okay, do that. Zoom out a little bit. And put it inside of here. Make these transparent so you can see what you're working with, and you can make your tab in your slot and so forth, and it makes it pretty easy to deal with. So that's how I use Tinkercad. I know there's all kinds of ways, so guys like Jody and all you other 3D printers out there, don't be busting my balls now. It's just how I do it, okay? That don't mean it's the best way.
Yeah.
It's just the best way for me.
It's like everything. There's you know, it goes with everything. Everybody has their own ways of doing things, and it's what you get used to.
Exactly.
I was watching.
Jody's laughing at me now because he knew I was picking on him.
Yeah, I was watching something the other night, and a guy, I forgot what it is, but he draws it out and designs it, and then sends it off to somebody who puts it into digital because he's old school. He learned how to draft with pencil and paper, you know. And
well, that's how I learned how to draft. I mean, I took drafting class in school, all 4 years in high school.
Right.
But
I don't think my brother knows it, but I have got his high school drafting, the big block of wood that they give you to, use for drafting back in the day.
The table?
The table? Yeah,
we had a table like an easel that we could move and tilt, and had a big giant T-square, and
they had them that were portable so they could pick them up. They worked on long tables, but then they picked the table, the tabletop section they were using. It was just it's probably 3 foot long, 2 foot wide, and he built it in shop, but then turned around and used it for his drafting.
Ah,
And so he could pin into it and do whatever he needed, not have to worry about, you know. And
in our
this is from
junior
back in
year,
the,
our drafting
this is from
class.
back in the '60s, yeah.
In our junior year in our drafting class, we designed a house, and then in our senior year, we finished it off, and the wood shop built the house, and the school sold it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that was
they
all
did that
fun to be
down
part
here.
of. That was all fun to
Yeah,
be part of.
they did that. Actually, I think it's a retirement center that they built the main office entrance building,
Uh-huh.
and they designed it in the drafting department, and
Uh-huh.
three or four different departments, and I think the VOTEC got involved with it, and because there's high school VOTEC, and
Right,
it
right,
was a big deal when they did it. But
right.
only thing I ever did was I've got a 3-tier table back there that I made out of oak. The thing's still around, and I made it back, when we were still using chisels and stuff to make stuff. You know, we didn't actually. When I went to cut out for the joint, it was like this. You had to go through and use a table saw and cut it out, a piece at a time, and chisel the rest of it out.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying real close attention. We joined the wood, and then run it through the joiner and all that stuff, and we glued it together and then ran it through and got it smooth. Well, Archimedes was Mel's shop teacher. Yeah, exactly. When I was going through, running it through the table saw and bringing it back, I wasn't following shop safety quite like I should have, and it got caught. But I felt something very hot touch my fingertips, and I had not cleared my hands properly. And of course, when I was bringing it back, I ran my fingers right up against the saw blade. I just,
Oh, jeez. Oh my God.
I didn't cut it. I did trim the nail though.
What?
I was that friggin' close, and I stepped back and said, "That's it. I'm through with this friggin' table saw. I'm not messing with another one again." I eventually went back to it, but it's like
I've got a 10-inch Rockwell table saw and a 12-inch.
yeah.
I think it's a Makita. Might even be a Makita knockoff because it's blue, but I don't think it says Makita on it. I can't remember
Right.
now.
Right.
Compound radial arm miter saw. Yeah,
Oh, radial- okay,
compound
yeah.
one though. It'll do all the angles.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, Lloyd,
Yeah.
thank you.
We've blown through an hour.
We blew through the hour already, so I'm not gonna.
That was interesting to watch. Watch you
Well,
lay that out.
I hope I helped somebody that might be thinking about getting into 3D printing and drawing with Tinkercad or any kind of CAD program, and
They scare me too, Dustin.
they don't scare me. I always stay on the right-hand side of them.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah, Lon, it's a
I,
radial arm saw. It's a compound miter radial arm saw. Very expensive saw.
My kids. I have all these nice power tools, but I'm not allowed to actually use them. I just have them available for my kids to come over and use them.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sort of like, I'm a little bit, actually, I'm really ticked off at Tim Allen because I think he stole a lot of his material off of my life,
All right, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
You're welcome, Dustin. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of the show. Mike, hello there. Jerry Calverley, hello there.
Yes, I did have a three
Ben
finger
T,
shop
hello
teacher.
there.
Yes.
I think I pretty well covered every. Oh, Chris of Sunrise Media, I've seen his name in there now.
Yep.
Anyway,
Mike B,
Lloyd.
Chris.
Yep, I just said hello to Mike. thanks for being here. You going to do a show tomorrow night probably?
Yep.
God willing, the creek don't rise?
Exactly. If we don't have tornadoes or some sort of crap coming in, yeah.
Yeah, might be interesting tonight and tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, I know.
Crob's Adventures, thank you. I appreciate that. By the way, I don't have any of that stuff listed up there. It's all right. It's okay. It's all good. 400agl.net. There is a link for Remote Pilot 101 to get you a huge discount off the regular price. Cheaper than Ken Herron's price, believe it or not. It's a better discount than Ken Herron got. And I don't know how. I just got lucky. I caught the right guy at the right time on the right day.
Yeah.
So
And
$99 gets
Jerry,
you a
you just
lifetime.
Jerry Calverley just showed up late.
Yeah, he's been here for a little while, but yeah, I've been talking to him.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, 400agl.net, that's my website that's under construction. There's some stuff there. It's worth having a look at. There's some links there that are helpful, like the Remote Pilot 101 link, and there's a donate button if you want to buy me a coffee, a beer, or an Amazon gift card, or you never know. And my channel does have a join button, so feel free to exercise your rights to push buttons. Those of you that are here that I've not seen before, if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe. That costs you nothing. The join button can cost you a couple of bucks, but it's worth it. I think it is anyway. Lloyd, thank you.
Or new hip. Yeah. Glad to be here.
We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.
See you tomorrow. Later, everyone.
I know you could have been anywhere. You chose to be here. And for that, I thank you very much. Good night, everybody.